Hi students, in this video, we will be discussing all the questions which were there in the 2021 O-level paper from the lesson Pascal. So in here, we will be discussing all the MCQ questions from the lesson Pascal as well as from the part 2, the paper 2 questions which were there from the Pascal lesson as well. So in this paper, actually, the Pascal questions in the MCQ starts with the question number 33. Okay, let's see. The question number 33. Which of the following control structures can be used in an algorithm? We know there are three types of control structures. They are the sequence, selection, and the repetition. Repetition is also known as iteration as well. So here, all these options which were given for the A, B, and C, all of them are control structure. So therefore, the answer should be answer number 4, all A, B, and C. Let's go to the next one. Consider the given flow chart to answer the questions 34 to 35. This is the flow chart and these two questions has to be answered with corresponding to this given flow chart. Okay, the first one, the question number 34. What will be displayed as the output of the given flow chart? As I have mentioned before also, in order to answer a question like this without any confusions and also without spending too much of time, what we can do is we can just use some space to do the workings, how the variables can be changed, right? You know that the variable values can be changed from the term itself. You can understand. So initially, A is equals to 1 and B is equal to 1. Then here in this process box, in this process, what happens is B equals B into A, which means currently B is 1. And when we multiply B from A is also 1. So 1 into 1 becomes 1. 1 into 1 becomes 1. And here we are going to check a condition. Is A greater than 2? Is A greater than 2? No, A is 1. So therefore, what happens? We go for the no side. In here it has A equals A plus 2. A is currently 1. So A plus 2 becomes 3. A plus 2 becomes 3. And then we go here. Then it is B equals B into 3. B equals B into 3. So B is 1 and A is 3. So therefore, 1 into 3 becomes 3. Now here, is A greater than 2? A is currently 3 and A is greater than 2. Therefore, we go for the yes side and this is output B. In this case, the answer is 2. We can see the final value of B is equals to 3. Therefore, the answer is answer 2, 3 is displayed. Right? Then the next question, question number 35. If the labels yes and no are interchanged. So here, no becomes yes and yes become no. Right? Are interchanged. Now it's interchange. In the given flow chart, what will be displayed as the output? Let's again write A and B. A is equals to 1 and B is also equal to 1. Right? Now here, B into A, here it is 1. And here we are asking, is A greater than 2? Is A greater than 2? No. So therefore, we are directly coming here, right? Unlike the previous one, here since the yes and no are interchanged in here, at the very first go, this condition becomes false and we go for the no side. Therefore, output B and the answer is 1. The final value of B is 1. So therefore, the output will be 1 is displayed. Output will be 1. So therefore, the answer for question number 35 is answer number 1. Then if we consider the next question, how many times will the statement count equals count minus 3 execute in the following code segment? So here we have, now we have count, right? We have count is equals to 12. Let's see. While count is greater than or equals to 3. Now see there, we are going to have a repetition, right? While count is greater than or equals to 3. Now count is 12. Therefore, this loop is going to execute. Count equals count minus 3. Count becomes 9, and we know this is going to execute once. This statement, now it is going to execute once. And then we are going inside because still the count value is greater than or equals to 3. So therefore, now this minus, this becomes 6, and this is going to execute again. And then again we go inside. This 6 becomes 3, and therefore we are going to execute this again. And now also the count is equals to 3. So 3 greater than or equals to 3, it's equals to 3. Therefore, this line is going to execute, right? And now this is 0. We are going to end. The loop is going to stop executing. Therefore, how many times this particular code line executes? It executes for 4 times. Therefore, the answer is answer number 2, right? Then the next one, consider the following books array, which is used to store prices of 8 books to answer the questions 37 to 38. We know in an array, right? In an array, the indexes starts from 0. Indexes start from 0. Therefore, this 96 is 0th index. And we can like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So, altogether, the size of the array is 8. But since it starts, the size is 8. But when we are going to define this book array, we are going to give it as array 0 to 7. And now what they are asking is, in the question number 37, which of the following correctly defines the book array in a Pascal program? So to be precise, let me show you in the grade 11 textbook, in your textbook, how they have given. Now, as you can see here, see, they have given you with a clear example how you do it. It is var, right? It is var. We give the name of the array and this semicolon, sorry, not the semicolon, this colon. We give the array, the first index, last index of, and the data type. We have to give the data type. Therefore, in here, we have var books, colon. All these answers have the colon. We can ignore this one. So here, array, and this is how we mention the first index and the last index. And next, the data type. So therefore, the answer is answer number 3. The answer is answer number 3. Clear? Let's see the question number 38. Which of the following represents the most expensive book? As I mentioned you all before also, since this starts from 0, we have to count from 0 onwards, right? So 0, right? 0, 1, 2, 3 likewise. The most expensive book is in the 3rd index, right? Therefore, the answer is this. Books, the 3rd index, right? Because it's 200, right? So now we all can see in your MCQ from question number 33, right? Question number 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, and 38. See, out of the 40 questions, 6 questions are from Pascal. So it means out of 100 marks you get from the O-level questions, you can score 6 marks only from MCQ, from the lesson Pascal. See, that's a good amount of marks, right? That's a good amount of marks. Then let's discuss the Pascal questions in the second part of the 2021 O-level ICT paper. In there, you all know the first question is a compulsory question, right? In the first question, can you see the sub number, the Roman number 8, question number 8 in the first question? See, the following algorithm is used to select players for a rugby pool. The selection is done based on the height, weight, and the age of the player, right? In here, as you all have done logic gates as well, we know and means all the, right? And means all the requirements should be fulfilled. O means even if one is fulfilled, then it is going to work, right? In here, we have the age, right? Age should be greater than or equal to 21. All these people over here have their age greater than or equal to 21. Now, what they are asking is write down the names of all the players who are qualified for the pool now. So, therefore, we have to find who are going to qualify. So, here, first it's about the age. All these people from the age, it's fine. But we have another part, right? We have another thing to consider. So the height should be greater than or equal to 160. In that case, this one is qualified, right? From the height, this one is qualified. Or the weight should be greater than or equal to 70. In that case, this person and this person are going to qualify from the weight perspective, right? From the height, everyone is okay. Sorry, from the age, everyone is okay. From the height, it's only Rajiv. And from the weight, it's Nirmal and Rajiv. Now from here, since this is a O, right? Since here we have a O to check the condition. If height or weight fulfills, okay. But here the age should be qualified, right? Age should be qualified, right? So here, therefore, we can take only Nirmal and Rajiv. We can take only Nirmal and Rajiv. Why we cannot take Salim? Because although his age is fulfilled out of this part, right? Out of this part, neither his height or weight is going to fulfill the requirement. He is going to match the condition, right? So therefore, the answer for the question number 1 in the part 2, the sub question 8, the answer is going to be Nirmal and Rajiv. The answer is going to be Nirmal and Rajiv, right? So here you get 2 marks, right? So here you get 2 marks, right? Now wait, now altogether 8, previous 6 and this 8, right? So these are compulsory. These 8 marks are compulsory. Now let's see, we know that there is a selection. You can, out of the remaining questions, you can choose the Pascal question as a selection, as a choice. So let's discuss that question as well, right? Let's discuss that as well. So here, question number 7, part 1. Answer parts A and B based on the following pseudocode. So here they have given us the pseudocode. Let's see the part A and B. What is the exact purpose of the above pseudocode? They are asking what is the exact purpose of the above pseudocode. As you all can see, we can just ignore begin and end because that is a norm. When we are writing a pseudocode, it should start with begin and end with end, right? We can ignore begin and end for the time being, right? We have count equals to 0 and x is equals to 0, right? While the count is less than 20, okay. While the count is less than 20, we are going to prompt to get a number as enter a number. When we give as enter a number, then it will be stored in the num variable, actually in here, actually in this place, they should give num is also equals to 0, because if we do not assign to 0, some bin values can be assigned for that. So therefore, we can simply, when in the initial stage, in the initialization, we can assign this to 0, right? That's how it should go. So what's the purpose of the above pseudocode? Now see, they are asking us to enter a number, and they are storing it, and also there is a variable called x which is equals to 0, and also they are going to add the number, right? Add the number we give to this x variable, and since the counter is the control variable, right? Since count is a control variable, we know in a while loop we have to assign, we have to specifically say how many times the loop is going to execute, right? So therefore, we should have a line to control the control variable. So therefore, counter is equals to counter plus 1, right? Initially, this is 0, and this will be increasing 1 by 1 up until it becomes 20, right? Up until it becomes 20. Because this starts from 0 and 19 also, this condition gets correct. Then 19 plus 1 becomes 20. So the counter goes up to 20, which means since this starts from 0 and goes up to the 19, right? This loop starts when the counter is equals to 0 and goes up to counter is equals to 19. That means this loop is going to execute for 20 times, right? This loop is going to execute for 20 times, which means we are going to enter 20 numbers, right? We are going to insert 20 numbers, right? And also that 20 numbers are going to get added to this x variable, right? 20 numbers in the sense the values you get from when you enter 20 numbers, right? Each time, okay? So therefore, the exact purpose of this pseudocode is to take 20 numbers as inputs and then calculate the sum of those 20 numbers to the variable x and display the final output of x. The final output of x will be the addition of those. Addition means the sum of the 20 numbers which you are providing. It doesn't mean that you give 1, 2 like that. Each time this enter a number thing gets displayed, you are going to insert a number, right? Then the next one, part B, what would happen if the statement counter equals counter plus 1 is removed from the pseudocode? What will happen, right? What will happen? Mainly, if this part is removed, right? If this part is removed, what will happen? It will take infinite number of times. It will take the input, right? So there will be infinite number of input. Because when this is not there, right? When this is not there, every time 0 will be equal, counter will be equals to 0. Since counter is less than 20, this will, this whole part, right? This whole part inside this will get executed infinitely, right? So therefore, it will take infinite number of inputs. And then what will happen? Since the condition, right? Since this condition is not going to become false, right? This x will not get printed, right? This x will not get printed, okay? Because this loop keeps on iterating. The loop is not going to get end. If this loop is going to end, only this X will be displayed now. So therefore, there are two things that can happen. One is the loop will be infinitely executed, and it will take infinite number of inputs, right? And also, since the loop is not going to end, X will not be displayed, right? That's the part 1 of question number 7. And then the next one, we have here, a teacher asked from 50 students to choose their preferred travel destination, either Kandy or Goa, for the annual school trip. The destination will be decided based on the highest student preference. The following flowchart with blanks labeled A to F represents the scenario. So scenario, if I just summarize it, what happens is the teacher is going to take the preference of 50 students, whether their travel destination is going to be Kandy or Goal, and based on the highest student preference, they will choose the destination, right? So what they are asking from us is to write down the appropriate answers to match the labels A to F. So let's first of all write down the labels. E and F, right? So here you can see student count is equals to 0. Candy count is also equals to 0, because till now, right, we haven't got the count of anything. So therefore, goal count is also going to be 0, right? Goal count is also going to be 0. So for the label A, the answer is 0, right? Then the next one is student count. In the following description, it says 50 students, right? It says 50 students. So is student count less than 50? Now you might sometimes, some of you all might have little bit of a confusion. Why 50? Is it not going to be 51? Right? Because if we start from 1, and if the condition is like, if the student count is equals to 50 and 50 less than 50, it's going to end. So then it will only take the input from 49 students. You might have a confusion like that. Let me clear it out. Here we have the student count equals to 0, right? So therefore, the student count starts from 0. And why I put here 50 is, when it becomes 50, the condition is going to become false. But it goes up to 49, right? When the student count is equals to 49 also, this condition is becoming true. So see, from 0 to 50, 0 to 49, which means 50, right? Then here it has to be 50. Then if it is yes, get travel preference. Is travel preference equals to Kandy, right? If it is yes, Kandy count equals Kandy count plus 1. We have to add it to the each preference. Should be added to the Kandy count if the preference is Kandy. For the Kandy count which is already available, we have to add 1, right? So keep in mind, you need to write the exact spellings they have given, right? In the exact way they have given. Else, what is it? If it's not Kandy, it's going to be Gaul. So Gaul count equals Gaul count plus 1. So D is going to be Gaul count and E is going to be 1, right? Then student count equals student count plus 1. This is going to iterate because we have to take input the preference from 50 students. And when the student count is 50, the condition becomes false and we go for the no side, right? We go for the no side. is candy count greater than, this is obviously going to be goal count, right? Goal count. Then print travel to candy. If the goal count is less than candy, the condition becomes yes. So therefore travel to candy, else they are going to travel to goal. And this gets ended. So for this whole question, if you get all these questions correct, you get 10 marks, right? You get 10 marks altogether from this question. If you do this question as a selection of yours, then you will get 10, right? From the compulsory question, the question number 1, we had a part from it, which is the subpart 8. From there, you get 2 marks. And from the MCQ, you get 6 marks. So altogether, there are 18 marks. You know that the ICT paper is coming out of 100. So from that 100, from the 2021 O-level ICT paper, a student can score 18 marks if he is very good with Pascal, if he is having a good understanding with Pascal, right? So that's the end of today's video. Thank you.